Everyone, so in this video I am going to explain table chart type in Domo. Okay, so to create a table chart type we need to pick any of the data sets. Let's pick this sales data transformation. Okay, go to create visualization. Okay, in the right side we can see we have a chart type. Okay, let it load. I will see. Okay, we can see we have a chart type, right? So when I click on chart type, at the end we have a table and text boxes. When I click on table and text boxes, we can see the available options for table and text boxes. So we have a mega table, we have a pivot table, we have a heat map table, we have a flags table, we have a text box, we have a dynamic text box, we have a HTML table. So we'll see one by one. Okay, so first let's go with a simple HTML table. So when I click on simple HTML table, okay, let me remove this aggregate. Then I can create a very simple table chart, and I have an option to add multiple columns like uh, I can add a sales order number. Okay, so hold on, it did not add. Let me drag and keep in the box. Okay, it's added. So whatever columns we are seeing in dimension and measure, we can drag and put in the column list. So those column will be added here. Okay, so this is very simple HTML table. Okay, no problem. Now if I click on properties, I have some properties like this general. Here we can define a font family of this value, font style, font color of this value. Okay, so let me give the color green. We'll see everything will be converted into green. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we can see everything got converted into green. Header row, we have an option to fill our header. Let's fill this. Let's see. It should convert it into blue. We can see this header got header rows got filled with blue color. We have an option to show total rows. Okay, when I see click on show total row, it will show total rows. Okay, go to the last, it will show the total rows. We can see grand total this many. So for dimension value it is showing a count, and but for the for integer value or for float value it will show the aggregate. Okay, it is showing sum default, and this is the categorical value, string value, so we cannot have a sum on the string value, so it is showing count. Okay, total rows. So we have an option to hide count. We can see it now there is a no count. Sorry. So again we have a total row fill color, total row font color, total row font style, total row position, after or before, like that. Okay, now come to the subtotal. When I click on subtotal row, it will give me subtotal. Okay, let's see how does it gives. Okay, let's understand with example. That is the best option. So here we can see in the left side we have a data for 2010 Q4. Okay, come here when 2000 Q4 data is completed and 2000 Q11 Q1 is starting. Before that it is showing the subtotal for 2010 Q4. We can see total, sum of this integer value, count, right? So like that. So in the count, we can see 14 out divide 60398. It means we have a total 60,398 row. Out of this 60,398 row, we have a 14 rows for this group. Group means 2010 Q4. Okay. So I don't think there's a confusion here. Now scroll down. For 2011 Q1, let's see where does it complete. 2011 Q1. It's drag. here it's complete 2000 q 11 q1. Okay, so when it completes we can see the subtotal. So out of 60,319.8, we have 438 record for 2011 q1. So like that we can see the subtotals. Okay, so this is HTML chart. Now let's come to the mega table. So in HTML chart we can see we don't have any sorting options here. Okay, but when I click on mega table, we'll see how it differs. When I click on mega tables, you can see these arrows. Okay, means we are getting this sorting options. When I click on arrow, now we have a data for 2014. Okay, if I click, it will be sorted in reverse, right? One, hold on. Let me remove this first. Total rows. I just want to remove total rows. Just let me remove. Let me remove this subtotal rows also. Okay, I removed everything. Okay, so now when I hover, we can see we have a one down arrow, we have a up arrow. So when I click on up arrow, we can see we have a highest value first, means it is in descending order. Okay, when I click on down arrow, lowest value will come first. Hold on. Oh, 1 minute, just a minute. Product key lowest means now it we have a maximum value first. When I click on this ascending order, we have a lowest value first. Okay, 214 is the lowest. Again, let me go to the descending order. Hold on, we can see the highest value. Okay, so we can use, so one more thing here, this order date sorting was not working properly because this is a string value. Okay, the sorting was happening based on string ascending, string descending. Okay, that's why it was not giving a proper sorting like 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, but here when we see the product key, it is a integer. So if I click, we can see now it is in ascending order, so smallest first. Again, if I click 1 minute, let me click, then now it is showing maximum first, descending order. Okay, so like that I can do sorting. Let me add one more, sales amount. Okay, no aggregation. Yeah, so let me go with maximum first. I'm in descending order, so this is maximum value. When I click again, now this is minimum value coming first. Okay, so like that we can do sorting. So when we choose a mega table, we have an option to do sorting at card level. Okay, but with HTML table, it does not provide a sorting options. It is very simple table. Okay, now one another chart is called heat map table. Let's understand. So when we click on heat map tables, what happen? Let me show you with themes. Okay, color theme. I want to use this. Okay, yeah, so when we choose a heat map table, the color change for integer or float kind of value. So this product key and sales amount, these are integer. Product key is an integer kind of value and sales amount is a float kind of value. What happen? Based on theme, the maximum value will have a darkest color and minimum value will have a lightest color. Okay, so here we can see this 699, it smallest value, I mean a small value, it has a light color. We can see 3399, what is there, this is a large value, so it has a darkest color. So heat map, this is the use of heat map table. Okay, so when we have to highlight a maximum value or minimum value, then we can use heat map table. Okay, the feature of heat map table and HTML is 100% same. The only difference is Using a heat map table, we can highlight the values based on color. And when we use a pivot table, when we use a mega table, we get option to do sorting. So this is difference between mega table, heat map table, and HTML table. So HTML table is a simple table. Okay, when we use a mega table, we get some extra option, that is sorting. When we use a heat map table, we get options to highlight the values. Okay, now let's come to pivot table. Okay, so when we click on pivot tables, we have options to create a pivot table. Okay, what is pivot table? I think everyone should know. Okay, here I am just going to explain how to create a pivot table. Okay, so basically a pivot table means like when we have a normal table, then we convert the column value of that table into multiple column, or can say we convert rows into column. Okay, so let me start with simple example. Okay, let's assume this is my product. Okay, let me choose new data set. I just want to choose new data set. Okay, okay, product name. Okay, color. Okay, and sales amount. Okay, so we can see product name, color, and sum of sales amount. Okay, now in the color we can see we have a red, silver, black, like that. So I want to convert this rows into column. In this case I can use a pivot table. Okay, so let's drag this color into column section. Okay, now you can see this color column, this color value converted into columns, multiple columns, right? Now for the product name, road 150, we have only red color. Okay, and its amount is this, some amount. Now for the product mountain 100, it has a mountain 100 has a silver color and its value is this. So like that, we can using pivot table, we can convert any of the rows into multiple columns. Okay, let me show you one more example. Instead of color, I can pick year also. Okay, I can pick year also. And let's remove color. Okay, so what I am doing, I am converting years into multiple column. For road 150 product in 2010, I have this much sales. In 12 I have this much sales. Now in for road 150 we have this much sales in 2010. Okay, we have this much sales in 12. For road 150 black, we can see the sale amount for 2010, 11, 12, like that. So we can see how we created a pivot table. But when I convert this into normal HTML table, data looks like that. Hold on. Okay, so data looks like that. Product, year, sales amount, product, year, sales amount. Same if I convert into pivot table, it looks in a very different way, right? This year got convert into columns. We can see how this year got converted into column. Okay, so using pivot table, we can see data in a different way. So we looked into mega table, we looked into pivot table, HTML table. Okay, now we have a flex table and text box. Okay, let me click on flex table. Okay, so flex table is kind of confusing. Okay, but still let's understand. So in x-axis, I am keeping, let me remove this. Let's get a country name, okay? This country name. Get for the sales amount, okay? Sales amount. Okay, now I want to get year also, and we'll see the flags table. Okay, now the flags table will create. Remove sum of year, get no aggregation. Okay, now yeah. Okay, so in the flags table we are seeing some graph. Okay, so in the left side we can see 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is my series. Okay, and in my x-axis I have an English country name. So here it is not showing. Okay, but due to my property setting, or it's not like a property setting, my screen is small, that's why it is not showing. But you can understood in the x-axis we have a country name, and in series, or can say in the y, we have a year. Okay, so if I hover here, okay, we can see for France 2014 I have a this much sales. Okay, and if I come here, it will show United States 2014 I have a this much sales. So this line is showing data for 2014 for different countries. Okay, this line is showing data for 2013 for different countries. Okay, graph data label setting, go to text. Okay, click on values. Okay, graph setting, types, fine, no problem. Column definition, column 1 default, yes. No problem. Okay, okay, so what I did, I abbreviated the data so it looks better. I just want to change, revert this here, and country name I want to put here. Okay, now we can see a country is appearing in left side, or can say in y-axis. Okay, here we just for Canada. So in this line I am seeing Canada data for different years. So if I hover here, let me hover somewhere, so it is showing data for 2011 Canada. If I come here, it will show data for 2012 Canada. So I just replace I dragged year into x-axis, so year is appearing in x-axis, and then series, that is country, that is appearing in y-axis. So we can see each country data for different years. So for United Kingdoms, for Germany, for Australia, we can see data for each year. Okay, so this is flags table. Now next is text box. When I click on text box, and if I keep any value inside the text box, that gives that value. So text box is very simple. It create a one text box. In that text box I can provide any values.